Hello everyone. Wednesday, February 12th, 2020. Of course, today was New Comic Book Day, which means right now is New Comic Book Video Time. Really good week for books. A lot of hot titles came out and a lot of books that have a chance to really do something down the road. Marvel was the big book this week. I usually don't buy a lot of Marvel, but there was a lot of really nice titles and some really nice looking covers. So we will jump right into the books. First book up, Zombie Tramp number 67. Right there. Cover. The only cover I picked up. Got a little chainsaw action going on there. Real fun cover purchase for me. Midnight Sky number 4, little E.T. homage. Loved that cover when I saw it. One Shot Gut Ghost number 1, Seek Out Sensation. There you go there. Get the whole cover there. Book I mentioned on my Monday video, which was Undone by Blood, Shadow of a Wanted Man from Aftershock. I'm looking forward to this here. Revenge storyline, kind of like an old revenge western type thing, so I'm looking forward to that. Cover purchase, we talk about Zenescope all the time. This is another good example, 35 of Wonderland. Really nice looking cover there. And that was it for Independence, real small independent week. Right into DC, another book I mentioned, Green Lantern number 1. First appearance of the Young Guardians. And cover B, sorry, this is Green Lantern Season 2, Issue 1, excuse me for that. I don't think I mentioned this one on my video Monday when I think about it, but this is the first appearance of the Young Guardians. A book I did mention on my video Monday, Flash number 88, first appearance of Paradox. Cover A, this was selling really well at the comic shops today. And cover B, right there. For you Batman lovers out there, this is Batman Pennyworth, rest in peace. Issue number 1. Looking forward to reading this because apparently the storyline goes around remembering Alfred, but also how his death is affecting Batman. Really nice looking cover right there. Batman kneeling down with, Alfred overlooking him. So I kind of like that. Really nice looking cover here. Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy 6. It was a connecting cover. I only picked up the Harley Quinn today. Really, really nice looking cover there. Another book I mentioned on my Monday videos, Wonder Woman 751, Dark Fates. Really cool cover there. And this next one was a B cover, kind of reminded me of a little, almost like Linda Carter from the 70s TV show. So I like that right there. Classic pose. They've used this pose during these Wonder Woman runs a few times, but it's a classic Wonder Woman pose, so that's all right by me. That was it for Independent and DC. Jump right into Marvel, which was the big week this week. Of course, Immortal Hulk. This is the first appearance of Glowboy. This is Immortal Hulk number 31. This book was selling really good. A lot of shops were limiting it to 1 per cover, or 1 issue per cover. So this was cover 1 here. And then they came out with a Gwen Stacy variant cover right here, which was really cool. I like the Hulk in the mirrors. This was like Gwen Stacy, which they're putting her on the cover of everything. Just a really fun book, Venom 23, Scotty Young variant. One of the nicest looking covers, Queen of Hellfire, the Black Queen of Hellfire, excuse me. This was X-Men number 6. This is really nice looking cover right there. Saw that cover and immediately had to grab it. A lot of damage on the books at the shop, but this one was pretty clean, so I was happy with that. Amazing Spider-Man 39, just kind of really like that cover right there. And then one of the books we also mentioned again, this is the Gwen Stacy. Of course, this is a origin story right here. This was a nice looking cover here. And then my favorite cover of this here was this one right here. Another Monday shout out, Thor number 3, A Battle with Beta Ray Bill, right there, really nice looking. Spider-Man Alien Reality, number 3. Spirits of the Ghost Rider, Mother of Demons. Cool character right there. See if they do anything with that character. X-Force number 7 we talked about with an anti-Domino character, but that was a pretty nice looking cover right there. I really like that cover. Savage Avengers number 10. There's a first appearance in here of a voodoo queen. I cannot think of her name off the top of my head. I did not mention this one in my video on Monday, but this is also a first appearance if you have the opportunity to pick it up. Marvel's number 2. This is a really nice Marvel X number 2. This is a really nice Alex Ross cover there. Really like that cover. And then a second print of Miles Morales number 13. First appearance of his baby sister on the cover right there. Kind of a cool looking cover, so I picked that up. And that's what we picked up this week. Pretty much everything on my list I did not pick up. I didn't pick up the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey book. I wasn't interested in that when I saw it. And I really wasn't interested in the Rise of Kylo Ren, which was the origin of Ben Solo. But of course, next week, Batman 89 cameo of Punchline. And then I believe Punchline comes out next week as well. That's going to be a really hot book that everybody's going to be trying to get. And then on the 4th of March, it is Batman number 90, the first appearance of a character called the Designer. So I have a little bit. I hope you enjoyed the books, and I hope you're able to pick some things up that you may not have known about if you watched my video on Monday. So there's that. I have a quick comment to make. Captain America: The End came out last week, and here it is. And this was the Captain America: The End. And on the back of the credits, it says Captain America, created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Now, when I read that, I kind of took exception to that because, and before I say anything, please don't misconstrue what I'm about to say. Stan Lee is iconic. He definitely deserves a place on the Mount Rushmore of comic book creators and artists. There's no question about that. The industry is where it's at because of the push that Stan Lee gave and the storylines he did and the way and all the things that he did to make this industry what it is right now. But over the years, Stan Lee seems to get a lot of credit for things that he didn't really do on his own. I'm sure he wrote great Captain America storylines for Marvel. Obviously he did. But Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, they created Captain America in 1941 with Captain America number 1. I think it came out in February of 41. And there's no credit for him in there. It doesn't say anything about based on character, created by this, created by that. There's no mention of Joe Simon in this at all. And they have it as Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So my thing is, first of all, shame on Marvel for allowing that to be put in the book. And how am I going to word this? There's a history of artists and creators not getting the credit that they are due as it relates to creating characters. One of the big ones, of course, in my opinion, is Amazing Spider-Man. Stan Lee and Ditko get all the credit for creating Spider-Man. But in 1954, Ben Cooper, which was a Halloween costume manufacturing company out of New York City and was just the dominant force in Halloween costumes from the 50s all the way into the 80s, had this character, and you can look all this stuff up. In 1954, had that character right there, Spider-Man. In 1954, it was a costume that they developed and created for kids that sold actually pretty well in New York City, apparently. And this was in 1954. Ben Cooper gets no mention of creating a Spider-Man character. If you looked at that picture real closely, the spiders on the chest, it's the web outfit, everything that Spider-Man has in the Amazing Fantasy 15 and in the Spider-Man runs is on that costume. Now, I don't have a problem with, Jack Kirby, Ditko you know, drawing a character based off of something that he's seen, because that happens all the time. Artists get, you know, ideas from things that they see and they develop it. What I do have a problem with is them taking credit, Stan Lee and Kirby, for, excuse me, Ditko. I don't know why I got Kirby on my mind because he's a great artist. Ditko and Stan Lee taking credit for it. What should have happened is they should have said, developed by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, on characters based on Ben Cooper. That's how you should have done it, because it's a Ben Cooper creation. Ben Cooper should be getting credit for it. And the reason they don't give credit for it is because they come up there and say, oh yeah, you know, we got the idea for Spider-Man from the Ben Cooper costume, is because that would be a tremendous lawsuit. Spider-Man is a $1 billion company. It's a $1 billion industry. And the family of Ben Cooper would sit there and say, hey, we deserve a large portion of that because our father developed the Spider-Man character for his costumes. Again, if a person's going to take credit, you're going to give credit to somebody, give credit to everybody involved. You know, the creator of Batman, hey, he had to fight long and hard to have his name attached to the Batman character, especially in, you know, movies and things like that, but that was finally settled. I think that when it gets to big money, and big money as it relates to iconic characters, which Spider-Man, Batman are, I think people kind of give credit to people that really, you know, even though they helped develop the character and take the character to new heights, didn't really develop the character on their own. So there's that. It's kind of a little rant. I know I'm going to get bashed for it. I know people are going to get pissed off that I'm bashing Stan Lee. I am not bashing Stan Lee. Stan Lee, again, iconic, and the industry is where it is because of Stan Lee. But again, don't forget the people who developed those things, the Kirbys, the Ditkos of the world, who helped develop some of the characters that we love today. Don't give all the credit to one person, even though the person, you know, did some of the most famous storylines out there. He didn't develop all this by himself. He is not the center of the Marvel Universe. There's a lot of people involved in that. He is the main stone, as you will, in the Marvel Infinity Gauntlet, but he is not the lone stone, and we have to give credit where credit is due, and I wish more people would understand that. So there's the video right there. I appreciate all the support I get. Again, I know people are probably not going to like some of the things I said, but you know, that's just how I feel. Again, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the thumbs up, and I hope you liked the video. But as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great, great week. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in a few days.